perfect way. You no longer exist, you're no longer
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamorous Anjulie. What's going on, Delisha?
Hey, we may be coming to you a day later than usual, but we still got your wrestling recap ready to go.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you last. I don't know what it is, even though, like, I feel the pay-per-view wasn't that far, but maybe it's just that one day that made the difference. Who knows? But yeah. And tonight we're going to be talking about Clash of Champions. So what'd you think about Clash of Champions?
Initially, I wasn't really, wasn't sure what to expect, because we got a couple of repeat matches. So a lot of it, I really wasn't intrigued to watch. But I was pleasantly surprised at the quality that we got. And overall, I think that it was a solid pay-per-view to keep the audience engaged. I actually got to live tweet, I think, almost every match. There's usually one or two matches that I forget to tweet about, and then I think I live tweeted the whole thing because that's how much I was paying attention.
Yeah, I got a lot of feedback too. Like, I think Skye was pretty excited to talk to me about this pay-per-view when he talked to me yesterday about it. I'm like, I don't usually talk about it until after Matt, so I guess he'll be interacting with us within chat. And also, big time, he was very enthusiastic about it when I saw his tweets as well. And stuff like that. But we should say hi to people in chat. We have Skye, who we just mentioned, Randall, Entertained. Welcome all. Hope you guys are excited to talk about some Clash of Champions. So, how I felt about it is, first of all, I got to do this because why do they call Clash of Champions, right? The champions are not clashing. Besides, we'll get to one match that you'll talk about later in the night. The champions are not really clashing. I preferred it when it was called Night of Champions. The Clash of Champions is more like Survivor Series, when it's like the Raw, NXT, and SmackDown champion fight in each to figure out who was like the best brand, I guess. But yeah, Clash of Champions. I get it's a cool name, like for name wise, but really Night of Champions is not bad either. And I feel like Night of Champions is more apropos for this as opposed to Clash of Champions. But for the pay-per-view itself, I don't know. I wasn't really. I didn't know that there's so many stipulations, I guess. I didn't know there's an ambulance match. That was kind of interesting. Ladder, love those, so that was cool to see on the card. And I don't know if there's any other stipulation matches, but other than that, that was it, right? That was it, yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, the card wasn't that bad. I don't know what the main event, like, I wasn't like, why is one of the Usos fighting Roman Reigns? It made no sense to me when you have people like The Fiend, who I love, but I guess they don't want to make him lose 2 in a row or something. And, anybody else pretty much. Not that I got anything against the Usos. I do, but, like, because we voted them. They're the first and only 2-time winners of the tag team, best tag team of the year for AfterMat. But, I don't know. I kind of like them together, not alone. I don't like when, especially when they have, siblings break up. And, I know Edge and Chris are not really siblings, but they played them as siblings. That was fine when they broke up, but, when you have real siblings, like the Usos, and who are especially twins, same thing with the Bellas, too, I didn't really I don't like seeing them, I like them as a tag team. Because, we always talk about how there's not many great tag teams, and the tag team division is, lacking. And they were the strongest part, a strong part, if not the strongest part of it. So seeing him separated, I know why they did. He told me that the other Uso was injured. Jimmy was injured. So that's why I can see why they did that. And I guess for the family's sake to really put in Roman's heel aspect. But other than that, we'll get to that match later. But let's start out with the first match.
And I have thoughts.
So the first match happens to be the pre-show match, which I'm actually covering. I think this is 2 in a row which I've covered, because I never watch pre-show matches, or I always forget, whatever. So I think it might be 2 in a row that I'm covering, which...
weird.
features the Smack. That's why now you know it's 2020 when I'm covering pre-show matches. Delicia's usually early about it and telling me, oh, the pre-show's on. Are you watching? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about it, and then she'll like tell me. But yeah, so it featured the SmackDown Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura against Lucha House Party, I think they're called, and they were represented by Kalisto and Lince Dorado. Basically, the match started out with what's his face, Sheamus and Shinsuke basically dominating Lince Dorado. They like basically old school tag team wrestling. They cut the ring in half. Kept Lince away from Kalisto, and they just used their power and their like, I think superior wrestling, not superior athleticism, but superior wrestling, to basically take Lince out of the match. Eventually, Dorado got free, tagged Kalisto. Kalisto came in a house of fire, as you expect from a hot tag. Did all his luchador moves, and they kind of took the momentum for the contender for the title. Until then, once again, Sheamus and I'll keep saying Sheamus and Cesaro because I missed the bar. Cesaro and Shinsuke took over, and it was just a wrap from there. And I do love the finish. I feel like they spun the wrong way. Cesaro spun the wrong way, but I love their finisher, where it's the big swing into the Kinshasa. That's a great finisher for a tag team, on par with the move that the New Day does as well. So I do really enjoy that. So I thought it was a good solid opener. And I wanted them, Cesaro and Shinsuke to win. So it's hard to not say Sheamus because it's got Shin and Shay, right. But we'll start with SH. So like I always mess it up. But Shinsuke and Cesaro retained. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, well, role reversal. I forgot about the pre-show or at the timings of it. I don't know why I keep thinking these things start later than they do, and but from the highlights that I saw, or mostly in GIF form on Twitter, I feel like it was probably the solid match that we got. I mean, again, as you might hear me say later on, it's a match we've seen time again in the last couple of months. So while all the parties involved do great stuff, it's just like I'm ready for something else. Right.
But I don't think I don't watch Smackdown and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, this is Smackdown obviously. So I don't know if these guys have fought before or not. I know they probably had the one time I think I did see them together. I don't know if it was actually Shinsuke that time, but it was like that elimination chamber tag team battle, whatever they wanted to call it. And I think that was when they were in it. But I think it wasn't Shinsuke. I think it was Sheamus back then. Who knows even by now? But yeah, I don't think I've really seen any of these guys fight each other, so it was pretty cool to see for me.
Yeah, it could be a bunch of SmackDown matches getting me confused, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, there's an asterisk with this year, but we are running light. We're going back to light tag team again, so there's only so many they can, I guess, reshuffle due to restrictions and stuff, but I don't know. There's nothing really fresh in the tag team scene, right?
I think this was a great match to open the card and went really well because originally they had Asuka versus Zelina as the pre-show match. So I was like, well, they're really gonna put that when they should put probably this. So I thought it was a good opening, and I thought it was a solid opening. I had fun watching these guys. That brings us to the first match, which I thought was a solid match for the Intercontinental Championship. Which one? There's two. Take your pick. Where the two champions come in, Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn, and the challenger is, in this case, AJ Styles, in a three-way in a ladder match for the I don't know if you call them vacant or double IC championships. I think the last time we saw this was Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10. Two IC titles hanging above a ladder in Madison Square Garden. I think maybe not. If there was something between then. Go ahead, Joe was there to fact check me.
I think there might have been another, maybe, I feel like the U.S. title might have had something similar. Maybe not, I don't know. But I think there was some title.
I think they did one where it was IC and United States on the thing, and like you become the undisputed champion when you pull both down. I think something like that might have happened, but never two duplicated, or one duplicated title.
I'm thinking of CM Punk and John Cena. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, that was the world title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was I think that was the last time. It's like, no, I'm the true champion. I never was pinned or some similar shenanigans that we saw tonight as well. So something similar like that.
So this match was just high octane, pretty much solid striking all throughout. AJ Styles dominated the beginning of the match, like totally dominated. Like he like threw like Jeff Hardy out. He worked on Sami Zayn, threw Sami Zayn out, worked on Jeff Hardy. It was just like total domination by AJ Styles. And I'm like, damn it, this means he's gonna lose. As soon as I saw him dominating, destroying the beginning of the match, I'm like, he's definitely gonna lose. And like everyone knows, I don't know if everyone knows, but I'm not a fan of Jeff Hardy as much. I know Delisha is, like Delisha loves the Hardys, but for me, I'm not a fan of Jeff Hardy. I respect what he does. He's crazy. He does crazy stuff. I love seeing that cool stuff that he does, but I don't really like him as a character for the most part. Maybe if he does that demonic thing that Will keeps telling me about, because Will, it's his favorite wrestler, so he always talking about this demonic angle that he does. That might be cool for me to see. I haven't seen it yet, so who knows. But anyway, AJ Styles dominated until Hardy took over. Hardy started doing his crazy stuff that he's always been doing. I think he went for like a whisper in the wind or whatever it was, and he hit it on the what's called poetry in motion off the stairs to AJ Styles.
AJ.
And connected well, and as soon as he turned around, Sami Zayn came with a hell of a kick, a haluba kick, whatever you want to call it. That looked cool. That was a cool moment. Probably the biggest moment we're going to say is, obviously the Swanton off the top of the ladder onto Sami Zayn, who's on the ladder himself. That was pretty much crazy. I don't know how Sammy recovered from that, because I don't know how Jeff recovered from that either. That was just nuts. It was just a small. You had a slight chance of error there that could have completely ended the match, like in a bad way, which you might be talking about later. And all props to him, man, that he did that and that Sammy took it. Well, good for them to protect each other. Then ultimately at the end of the match, of course, that we have Sami Zayn doing his tactics, because that's what heels do, and he's smart. He did something I've never seen before, and I thought was great. If you guys know, Jeff Hardy has giant gauges in his ears for his earrings. He took a handcuff, put it through Hardy's ear, and then put it on like a small ladder, like a hornswoggle ladder, I should say. And then he went into the ring, took out another handcuff, and put it on AJ Styles, and he tried to put it on the rope, but he couldn't do it, so he put it on himself, because AJ was able to get the upper hand. But then when AJ tried to climb, he's like, oh wait, I have dead weight of Sami Zayn. And then, in a sheer amount of energy and strength that he put into it, he put AJ Styles put Sami Zayn on his back, and started climbing the freaking ladder. I was like, wow, this is nuts. And in the background, now you see Hardy starting to get up, because now he's got the ladder hanging from his ear, whatever you want to call it, and Sammy's like, then the camera pans on Sammy's like reaching to his pants and pulling out the key, unhooking it, and then unhooking the handcuff from himself and tying it or attaching it to the middle part of the ladder, allowing him to climb up, which makes no sense to me, because I mean, that's fine, that's smart and all that, but if you're AJ, who's like reaching for him, what can you do if you're AJ? AJ's just not good in ladder matches, I think it is. He could have just tipped the ladder over, even though his arm's attached to it. He's literally connected to it. He could have just moved away. And then Samuel had no chance of climbing because he's got the ladder. He kept trying to reach, like, oh, I'm going to reach, somehow break this cuff and reach. Like, I was just... AJ does not have a good record in any type of ladder matches, as we know from Money in the Bank that he did. But this was a great match, if not the match of the night for me. I loved it, because I love AJ, you guys know that. I don't mind Sammy. And when it comes to these matches, Jeff Hardy is second to none in these matches. As much as I don't like him, I always have to give him props for these kind of matches, because he's going to be besides Shane McMahon... Hardy's stages above Shane McMahon, but besides Shane McMahon, no one else is going to do crazy bumps like this. Maybe Mick Foley back in the day and stuff, but this was awesome to see. What did you think, Delisha?
This match was insane. and the right amount of insane that you want from a ladder match. This was the perfect match to start off the night, and I can only imagine what it would have been like with the crowd around just being so hyped up after this match to carry it on into the further night. But we also forgot to mention I think it was AJ just throwing the ladder javelin style at Sammy, like to play off him like getting hit in the hands like that. But I also do love the ending of Sammy like handcuffing each of the competitors in their own way. It was an interesting add-on to I always like it because we see we do see ladder matches quite a bit throughout the year, maybe 4 times a year, but we've seen a lot of it. If you're not new to wrestling, you've seen a lot of ladder matches. So I do like it when they try to integrate something fresh, something new that we may not have seen before or haven't seen in quite a long time. So I really appreciate a new aspect of a winner of how the person won or how Sammy won his match. It fit his character. It fit the sniveling I'm gonna win at all costs heel, but instead of like there's no way there was a DQ in that, but without any other like outside shenanigans, it was just Sammy using his brain to win the match to get his title back, or I should say to retain, as he would say, retain his title. And it really was an A+ match for sure. It was phenomenal, as you would say, even though the phenomenal one did not win.
Yeah, it's kind of things like this where I like seeing like the heel do kind of stuff like that. I really do wish nowadays that they had my ideal character if I was a wrestler would be someone like the Genius. If you remember the Genius from back in the day, the '90s, and Entertainment said that this was this match stole the night, which I do agree. And Skye says this was an amazing match to watch. I agree as well. If I was a wrestler, my character would be like the Genius. If you remember that back in the day, maybe not as obnoxious, but it would be a guy who studied tape of wrestlers, right? So like you'd see me like not like they don't have tape anymore. You can watch streaming, obviously, but I'd be going to like the production crew and asking for tapes. If I'm fighting like AJ Styles, I'd be like, give me all the tapes of like you have AJ Styles for the last year, and I'd watch it to learn his ins and outs, and that's how I'd beat him. That's the type of wrestler I would be. I kind of want to see that like nowadays with the wrestler who actually studies tape and learns all his opponent's like weaknesses and intricacies. That's somebody Sami Zayn could be. He uses the heel tactics, but someone like Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn could be that kind of wrestler. And I would love to see that come back. If that happens now, they should give me some credit for it or something. But that'd be cool to see. And welcome Sidewalk Close. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Jeff is lunatic and Sammy's a great heel. Yeah, I agree, man. This is like I said, probably the best match of the night. Everyone played it really well, even though just like Jeff Hardy, he did a great job as well. Like I can't say anything bad about this match. It was just amazing or phenomenal, as I always say about AJ Styles matches. Next match featured the Raw Women's Champion Asuka against Zelina Vega. Is this me or you? I forgot.
I think it's me this time. Oh yeah, because of what happened later. Yeah.
Wait, are you sure? I didn't say Zelina. I don't know if I said I wanted it because I like Zelina, but I don't know. Maybe it's you. It's probably you. Yeah, it's probably you because we weren't sure if we had a Raw Women's match. Yeah. The funny thing is. I think because I think I wasn't sure if I texted you right here saying like, oh, if the next match is this, WWE hates it. Because I always say that to you at the pay-per-view because like they usually give us like 5 of our matches in a row and we can never switch. But I think that's why. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we changed some stuff around when some of the matches got canceled or reorganized. But yeah, this match was originally supposed to be on the pre-show, but due to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler and Nikki Cross. As they're just saying not being medically cleared, I don't know. I didn't read a lot of the news articles, so I don't know if it's stated what it actually is. I guess we all just assumed COVID related. But so they did some shuffling on the card, and now we have Asuka and Zelina on the main card. And Zelina gave a really strong showing in this match. She went quickly or early off in the match, going after Asuka's arm, so I guess to prevent her from getting the is it the Asuka Law?
Yeah.
In. And then quickly in and out of the ring, trying to, I guess play mental mind games and to not get, deadlocks in the ring with Asuka, because that is a dangerous place to be when you're in the ring with Asuka. But as soon to be, Asuka's of course always going to get an upper hand at some point throughout the match, trying to get Vega in various locks to either get her pinned or submitted. But Vega we haven't really seen a lot of her in the ring, at least on the Raw roster or SmackDown roster, because she's on there too. She's putting in a lot of submission moves of her own right and pinning combinations to try to get quick pin outs to get Asuka pinned or submitted to win the title. But as usual, Asuka will slip on the Asuka lock out of nowhere, no matter how you have her pinned up or whatever. And of course, once she gets it locked in, it's pretty much over, and Zelina is submitted to not get the title off of Asuka. I guess she was not ready. But in true face faction, she was like, oh, you put up a good fight, probably didn't really expect this out of you, and went for the handshake. And Zelina looked like she was going to bow out of respect, and then went after Asuka. I think she smacked her in the face or something like that. And so I don't think we are done with these two. At least, maybe not immediately, but these two will face again. So it's on the line, and I am here for it. But all in all, it was a pretty solid match. I think that because it was on, is now on the like main card. I'm glad Zelina was not like, it wasn't like a blowout like 2 minute match, which was what I was expecting with it being on the pre-show. But they gave Zelina her credit and let her work, and we got a good match out of it.
Yeah, Side saying Selena looks surprisingly not terrible, and Skye says they made Selena look good, and they don't think Skye and Side don't think it's the last time they see the last of these two, which I agree with as well. This is not an ending, and I kind of like how Selena worked on her arm, on Asuka's arm, but unfortunately that didn't really help out Asuka from locking in the Asuka lock, which I thought it might somewhat help, and then make her win another way, like a roll up or something. But yeah, it was good to see, and I love seeing Zelina Vega. So it was cool, and I want to see her more. And I don't know. I feel like she can't beat Asuka, but I don't know. Maybe they got to start bringing like an Intercontinental title for the women, or something like a mid card title for the women, and have Zelina be the first one to hold that. So because I don't really see her being able to beat Asuka unless she cheated, because she's still a heel, right? So,
Right.
Yeah, I don't see that. But yeah. I don't mind seeing these guys go against each other again. The next match features your United States champion Bobby Lashley against Apollo Crews, and it is you as well.
Yep. So this might have been probably my least anticipated match of the night. Strictly because if anyone was following my tweets, I'm just tired of seeing these two fight, or seeing these two in some sort of fashion. We've seen it so much on Raw, and I think the last two pay-per-views they've had some sort of clash, for lack of a better term, pun not intended. But Cruz, they did let him get off to the quick start, using his agility to combat Lashley's power. Because again, you're not going to beat Lashley, pound for pound in a fight, because he just has that much more power game over you. Excuse me, not COVID, guys, I promise. But then Lashley would then counter all of his moves to get more of the offense going on. I feel like throughout the whole match, you didn't really see Lashley have to go on too much of a defense. It seemed to be all much like Cruz fighting the uphill battle. And then they would, to where Cruz would get a power slam off of Lashley, and then he went for a shooting star press, and then hit a standing shooting star press, and then to go up to the top rope for the frog splash. But Lashley wound up to kick out at 2. And then after a misstep from Cruz, he was able to get in the, I don't know what they is it. I don't think it's called the Lashley lock, but the full Nelson submission to retain his title, which I believe is the good move. You kind of have like the Hurt Business being this this heel force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't call him dominant yet, but a force to be reckoned with on Raw. And if he just loses to Cruz with no real effort, wouldn't really have made their calls. But so I think it was the right decision to retain the title. It was a solid match. I mean, I never doubted these two were going to put in good work. It's just that kind of tired of seeing it.
Yeah. So Hurt Lock is what Sidewalk's calling it. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. But Garza and Andrade is at least anticipated for Sidewalk. For me, I actually did like this because Apollo looked really good. You like the way the new belt looks. Entertain said. I like this match. I think I always say how I don't really care for these two, like watching them fight each other. I like Bobby Lashley, but Apollo Crews never grew on me. I'm so glad that Bobby Lashley lost his headband, because that was the worst part of him in my opinion. But yeah, so I don't care much for this, but Apollo Crews looked really good. He looked very athletic. It was awesome to watch, and I think it's finally over with the Lashley lock, or Hurt Lock, whatever you want to call it. Hurt Lock would be cool because like the Hurt Locker, the movie, that would be cool. So I think if that's it, man, that was a good way to end it. But yeah, Bobby Lashley won. That was cool to see. I want to see them. You said they're not really dominant because they're not really a nation yet, so they can't dominate yet. Once they become a nation, then they can be dominating, right? But yeah, I think that I like the Hurt Business. I like where they're going. Kind of cool to see like maybe someone like This guy's two big milk duds wrestling in the ring. I don't know. I don't know what they can do with Apollo Crews. Maybe put him in a tag team with somebody. But I don't really see him. I think it's over with these guys unless he eventually joins as like a mole. I think I said that about him. Maybe he joins as a mole into the hurt business to start breaking them up. That's the one thing I can see.
Yeah.
All right. Next match is the Street Profits. The Raw Tag Team Championship featuring the champions, the Street Profits against Andrade and Angel Garza.
Yeah. This match was kind of like deja vu. The only difference is there was no Zelina Vega because she got storyline tired of their shenanigans and told them they had to figure it out on their own. And so I again wasn't looking forward to this match either, again, because we've seen them two so many times. They even mentioned it on the number one contendership match either last week or the week before. There was when I think it might have been Cole or somebody asked them who were they looking towards facing, and they was like, well, we've already faced Andrade and Garza so many times, so we want someone new. And lo and behold, they get these two again. Totally fine match. Of course, again, since they've worked with each other for such a long time, they kind of know each other. They can work for them. They got the in-ring chemistry. Honestly, there wasn't really much to this match except for Garza being injured out on the outside, so we got kind of a wonky finish with Dawkins pinning Andrade, but he didn't have her shoulders down with the ref counting to 3 anyway. And this match was okay. If you didn't see it, you didn't miss much because it really was not really worth writing home about. Is that how you feel too, or did you like this match?
Yeah, so I was kind of hoping so Side was saying that they hold on, I gotta go back because I missed up. Side was saying that they don't need to have. Skye said they don't need to have titles to be relevant. They just need better storylines. He was extremely surprised to see that they retain the titles. And Sidewalk was saying they've matched up so much, just turn Andrade face already. You remember my whole thing about Andrade turning face because of Zelina Vega leaving him and then joining sides with like Umberto Carrillo, like a double switch kind of thing, and having Andrade become face. That didn't end up panning out. Well, who knows? Maybe it will. But maybe it'll. Now with Garza getting hurt, definitely getting hurt there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna go solo. And I think they'll eventually turn him face. And then something is going to happen with Charlotte, probably, because that always happens. It was an alright match. Sad to see Angel Garza get hurt. I am also tired of these two. Like, you're tired of Apollo and Lashley. I'm kind of tired of these two. It's just too much. Let's just end it for them. Just let me know how my audio is, because I turned the mic down a little bit, so I want to know if you guys can hear me okay on the stream. Or if I got to turn the mic up a little bit, because I was getting a lot of background noise and I see in the mixer, so I just want to make sure it's okay for you guys. You can hear me okay. But yeah, I think this is it for them. Hopefully, well, I think it is because obviously Angel Garza got hurt, and I like to see Andrade alone going for the IC title, or would it be the IC title or the US title? The US title, I guess, right? He'd be going for the US title. Well, he's already the US champion, wasn't he? Damn it. So maybe push him to the main. Who's Drew McIntyre? Yeah, that would be a cool feud with Drew McIntyre. I don't know if they can push him that fast, and what's going to happen? Turn the mic back up. Okay. I don't think they could put him up that fast, especially because if he's gonna be a face. If they're gonna have him as a heel, yeah, that'll be fine. But I think we need him to fight maybe Drew McIntyre. That'd be a cool feud. All right, next match. Well, next scheduled match. So supposedly was supposed to be Bayley defending against Nikki Cross, but Delisha gave you the info that Nikki Cross was not cleared to fight. So what happened, Delisha?
Yeah, so Bayley's out in the ring, showing doing a spiel, saying I'm going to still grace you with my presence, because I'm, a great person like that, so to speak. And so she tried to do an open challenge, and I think she gave her like 3 seconds, and it was like, oh, no one's here. Raise my hand. Here I am. I'm still your champion. And then we get Asuka's music hitting, and so I don't know. Apparently, it might have been explained on the commentary, but apparently it wasn't like a champion. I mean, winner gets all both belts. It was literally just for Bayley's belt. So the advantage goes strictly all to Bailey as they usually do. I mean, in a singles one-on-one match, like the championship advantage. But did you have this match though?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you did. Sorry. But from the jump, Bailey was trying to do quick moves on Asuka, much like in the kind of taking off where kind of like Zelina picking up where Zelina left off of trying to reserve to not get picked up in that Asuka lock. And it looks, of course, but Asuka being Asuka, the Empress that she is, quickly turns that match around, with their quick knee strikes, quick arm strikes, and they wound up being outside of the ring. And, in true now heel Bailey fashion, she just hits her with Asuka with a chair. I think it might have been, the chair that she mangled Sasha with, causing a DQ so that she could retain her title, although it will go on the record books that Asuka won. And that was all fine and dandy. I mean, the match was fine, but it really was to further out this storyline that they're gonna have, because Sasha Banks makes her return to the arena by hitting Bailey with a chair and getting a little bit of revenge on Bailey to initially getting her comeback to let her know that they're not through. Well, we already knew that based off her turning on Sasha, but like, they're not through. There's still a lot of story to be told, and we'll have to, I guess, cue into Friday to see what's going to go on with that. But as knowing what the next pay-per-view is going to be, I think we kind of know where we're headed. But yeah, the match itself was fine, but it was really just to get to that ending to usher in Sasha.
Yeah, so I'm hoping the Sasha beats Bailey at the next pay-per-view, because I don't want to see Asuka versus Bailey again at Survivor Series, because it's going to be champion versus champion. Obviously, they'll be throwing in the NXT Women's Champion, who I don't know, it's Io Shirai at the moment, I guess, but there is a takeover coming up this weekend, and she's facing Candice LeRae. Surprisingly, I know that. How do I know that? I don't know, but I know that. As I do fast forward through NXT, I guess I see stuff. But yeah, so Skye was saying that she wasn't ready for Asuka, because no, she wasn't. She didn't know it was going to be Asuka coming out. Who would I have rather seen come out? Probably anybody. I think Delisha texted me about why not Lacey Evans, why not Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I think Bliss, obviously is doing her own thing right now with the whole Fiend.
I only mentioned those two because they legit just had a segment with Bailey like the previous week.
Yeah.
So it made a little bit more sense.
Or maybe the returning Carmella, maybe, I don't know. That or Mandy Rose. I have no idea. Anybody besides Asuka, because Asuka just won. Yeah, a pregnant Becky Lynch would have been better than Asuka.
Well, but the only caveat is they literally weren't expecting to not to have to do that pivot. So, of course,
I would rather have no match, just a promo. I would rather have no match, just a promo.
True. That's what I thought they were just gonna go for, and just have us move on. But I guess they were like, we gotta fill some time in. So there you go.
But yeah, so that was kind of whack. But hopefully, Sasha beats Bailey at Hell in a Cell, because there will be nowhere for her to run. They'll probably be in a cell. That'd be cool. Nowhere for her to run. Maybe, hell, oh my god. I don't want to see Charlotte return. I was like, Charlotte could return and beat Bailey, but no, I'd rather not have that. No. I love Asuka. No. Skye, I love Asuka. I'm just saying, I didn't want to see her again that night to fight for the title. I'd rather have seen anybody else, because I love Asuka as the Raw Women's Champion. I didn't want her to see as winner of 2 belts. And I love how they have her yelling Japanese and stuff like that. So nothing. Oh, I didn't think she was gonna win, but I thought it was just stupid, like, to have her come out, like, I think Bailey cutting a promo would have been the best to do, and then have her get away from Sasha as Sasha runs in, maybe, and that way they'll have to do it in the steel, and then they have to do it in the Hell in the Cell. That's what it led to. Maybe for the rest of the next 5 weeks or 4 weeks, however many how much time we have in between. If all I would want to see is Bailey running away from Sasha, that's why they're gonna force it to be Hell in the Cell, and then that'd be great to see. And then Sasha beats her, and unless Bailey has someone up her sleeve like a I don't know, like some like big bodyguard woman that they could use for her to help beat Sasha, or someone that turns like, I don't know. That's the only way I can see Bailey being Sasha, and then Sasha will lose at the next pay-per-view or the next Raw, whatever, SmackDown, whatever she's on, because that's what's gonna happen.
She's gonna get that the Survivor Series. She's gonna
not even Survivor Series. She'll lose the next day. She'll lose like while she's walking out of the arena to R-Truth. Oh, speaking of R-Truth lost his championship to Drew Gulak, and then Drew Gulak lost it to R-Truth. That happened, okay? Sometime during the night. The next match is for the WWE Championship, which featured an ambulance match between the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, and the challenger, Randy Orton. Orton went early on trying to do that kick to the skull and hitting his whatever DDT, what do you call it, the hanging DDT, because Drew was kind of dominating in the beginning until Randy Orton turned around a little bit in the middle of the match. So then after he went for his DDT, he went for his patented running kick. As he started running for it, or reared back for it, his leg was grabbed by someone. We looked at it, and it was Big Show. Big Show then took Randy Orton out of the ring and chokeslammed him through the table. This was revenge for when Orton kicked him in the head, I think it was, a few weeks ago or months ago. And then McIntyre went after, took advantage of this moment and went after Orton, started dragging him to the ambulance. I think he injured his knee in the process. And he did that by... I knew this was going to happen. If you didn't know this was going to happen, you should know this was going to happen. Orton was on the leaning against the door, and Drew McIntyre ran out to do a Claymore. Orton ducked out of the way, or ducked into the cabin of the car, and Drew McIntyre took the door off using the Claymore and hurt his knee, I guess. Then that's when Randy Orton took advantage and started. Or I think they went to the back. Did they go to the back first? Yeah, then they went to the back, out to the back, and that's when Christian came out, another person who's been screwed over by Randy Orton, and they fought outside in like the concession area or the buffet area, and Christian threw him through the food, and that once again, McIntyre was in the driver's seat, not the actual driver's seat of the ambulance, but the driver's seat of the match. Took him back out to the said ambulance, and they fought on the top of the ambulance. And then Orton, I think, raked McIntyre's eyes, which then caused him to, I guess, drop him onto the windshield, which cracked it. And then both were on top again. I think McIntyre got... Oh, McIntyre was... I think Orton was just posing on top after McIntyre went through the windshield. And all of a sudden he got kicked in the face, sweet chin kick in the face, by another person that he screwed over, which was Shawn Michaels. And then Shawn Michaels threw him off the top of the ambulance into the... It's just some... scaffolding or whatever you want to call it, and then Orton got up back on his feet, and McIntyre thought he was going to have the advantage here, but then Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere. He put Drew into the ambulance, and then took his dear sweet time. If you're going for a championship, you don't take your time to be like close the door and then smile and like pose to the camera and then close the other door. No, you close both damn doors right away if you want to win this championship. He didn't do that. Not that I wanted him to win. I don't mind him winning. I don't mind Drew winning. But he closed one door, took his precious time to pose to the camera, then tried to close the other door. Drew stuck his arm out, stopped it, came back out, hit a Claymore, then hit the running boot to the head, and then threw Orton to the ambulance, closed the doors, won the match. Ric Flair drove the ambulance out. I thought I would see Ric Flair earlier on in the match and do a low blow when Orton was, instead of Orton like posing or pandering to the camera and closing the second door, I thought Ric Flair would come and low blow him from behind. That did not happen, but basically everyone got their revenge against Randy Orton, including Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre is still your champion. What were your thoughts, Alicia?
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty solid match, if you can call it a match. Pretty solid segment of the show. I do like that we got some previous play-in from all the people he punted on his like Orton reign of terror, so to speak. And so we got kind of like a little like a flashback play into that. And while necessarily because of that, it wasn't really like keeping Drew strong. But like I said, it was a callback. That's what it was a callback to Orton's sins. And so I kind of think it still paid off in the long run for what we got for an ambulance match. And it was pretty solid. I didn't watch all of Raw, so I don't know if this is the end. Kind of hoping that it is, because it's time for some new blood into this McIntyre reign. But beyond that, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Besides Andrade, I don't know who they would push to fight him. I don't really know who the major heels are besides the hurt business. I honestly don't know yet. But I guess we'll see. The final match.
Yeah, I guess for Hell in a Cell. No, I was gonna say, I guess for Hell in a Cell, you probably would want him to go against a heel, but I'm not opposed to him going up against a face if it's just like in the spirit of competition to just give us a good match.
Well, cause I feel like I'm going to see that at Survivor Series, maybe. Because like usually there's like two faces. Well, maybe not, because I guess Roman Reigns is a heel now, right? And the NXT champion.
But it's champion versus champion, so there's that, ambiance around it. I just mean like a straight up for a title match, because Survivor Series are not fighting for titles. I mean, championship titles are fighting for the title of brand supremacy.
Who was last year at Survivor Series for the men? Was it Brock, Adam Cole, and somebody else, or was it not Brock? Or did the men not fight in a three-way match? I need to look this up.
I don't remember.
Because this year it'll be Finn Balor. If it stays the same, it'll be Finn, Drew, and Roman. That's pretty solid, I think. I hope Finn Balor wins that.
And that's like two heels and a face.
And I really hope Finn Balor wins it, because last year Shayna won for the women, right?
Yeah.
Man, I really hope. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh no! So Brock Lesnar fought Rey Mysterio. It wasn't a one-on-one match for the I think because Adam Cole was on like the Team NXT maybe for the men. I don't know.
Oh, maybe he was in a. Okay. That sounds weird.
Oh no, he wasn't.
Anyway,
I don't know. Whatever. Adam Cole fought Pete Dunne. So basically, and then Bray Wyatt defeated Daniel Bryan. So all the other titles are all like individually fought in the men's division.
Gotcha.
But this year it'd be cool to watch those people go at it and see Finn Balor come on top, because we do know he was the first ever Universal Champion. Unfortunately, losing it real quickly due to injury, or relinquishing it, not even losing it, relinquishing it due to injury. So that'd be cool to see.
And also the promos for that would be really cool, because he's not, babyface Finn Balor. He's Prince Balor.
All right, that brings us to the final match of the evening, featuring the Universal Champion Roman Reigns defending against his cousin Jay Uso, not to be confused with Jimmy Uso, Corey Graves. And this was just a straight up match, and Delicia's taking over this, and I will return right.
Yeah, this, I don't even know if you can call this a match. This was just straight up not soap opera, because that sounds cheesy, but like, this is what I love about WWE when they get it right, is integrated storylines to pull off a, I guess, match, for lack of a better term. Like I said, it wasn't really a match because Roman dominated this whole sector of a match. If you guys weren't paying attention or didn't know why this came about, they were looking for a number one contendership. Jay was put into a fatal 4-way because Big E was taken out by Sheamus. I digress. So the whole storyline became cousin versus cousin, the ultimate, I guess, underdog in Jay of the quote unquote tribal chief, and Roman Reigns of the and no, I always say it wrong. I'm sorry, commenters. The Anoa'i family of that great Samoan legacy, to where the story was, Jay being younger than Roman, and also he is the younger twin between him and Jimmy that he's always looked over. And as he said in the promo, they look at Roman and see the big dog. They see, the leader of the Shield. They see him and go, "Which twin are you?" And so he's always been the one fighting for recognition, and the fact that Corey was calling him Jimmy was um kind of like added on to that. But like I said, Reigns pretty much dominated this whole entire match. He kept wanting to prove to Jay that he is the dominant one in the family. He is the one that needs to be in in charge, or the tribal chief, like he was saying, to take their family into the stratosphere of fame, even though they're kind of already there. Um, but he kept wanting Jay. See, even I'm doing it. I'm sorry, Jay. I apologize. I know who you are. I I watch Total Divas as well. um, I'm blaming Corey. Uh, to wanting him not to submit in the traditional sense, but to submit to him as the leader of their family. Telling him to, tell me I'm the tribal chief and this all be over. As Jay is just laying onto the ground. This henceforth brings out Jimmy, his twin, not running, hobbling down to the ring to throw in a white towel of surrender, even though Jay telling him, no, no, don't do it. And even the commentators are like yelling on his out, like, just do it, Jimmy, just do it, just end it all. Reminding, as I text Kyle, reminding me of that Rocky Four moment when, uh, dang it, what's his name? Anyway, when Dolph is just like hammering and his trainer's like, just oh, and that's what it reminded me of. Eventually,
Apollo Creed.
thank you. Even I should have known that, but I'm tired. Eventually Jimmy does throw in the towel and ends the match, but Roman's like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted him to say that I am the tribal chief of this family, and so therefore Jimmy said it for him, kind of furthering out the heel Roman that I am very much quite enjoying, to tell you the truth. But like I was telling Kyle, this wasn't really a match. This was really just a dominance of Roman Reigns. But I really enjoyed the storytelling of this match, and it's not going to be the end, because I don't know I don't know if anyone's been watching or listening to the Twitter sphere, but apparently The Rock have piqued interest in possibly doing an angle with Roman, kind of like because Roman keeps calling himself the tribal chief, and even though in my mind I'm like, isn't that usually the oldest male in the family who would be the And I was saying, I'm pretty sure you are not Roman, but there was some murmurings about that possibly happening down the line. Basically, pretty much The Rock will be putting him over, but I thought that was pretty interesting storyline to go with, because we don't get. I mean, of course we've never seen this storyline before, because we never really dealt into a lot of the Samoan, mannerisms and things like that. But I thought it was pretty cool. It wasn't our typical, someone dominating a match, getting the pin or submission for the end of the show. It was more like a embarrassment of a family, and I'm quite intrigued to see how this plays out on Friday.
Yeah. Welcome Sliderman, who just joined us, and he agrees with you. He says heel Roman is the best Roman. I agree too. Look at his picture in this little promo on the top. He looks really pissed. So it was cool. Yeah, it was very much a domination. It was like kind of like an alpha dog kind of thing I've seen here, and marking his territory if he's like being the best. I liked it because it wasn't really a match, so it was pretty cool, and I didn't really want to see this match, but the way it kind of panned out was great. I think I texted you like halfway through the match. I'm like, if Jimmy comes out and screws over Jay, I quit. He came out, he kind of didn't like screw him over, but he did throw in the towel. So, and now that you mentioned this thing with The Rock, I'm going to be really upset, because that's going to be The Rock basically, which he should be putting Roman over, but I don't think he should do it cleanly. Unless Roman's a face, like he's passing the torch, yes, but I don't think he's going to be a face. So I don't think he should beat The Rock cleanly. Yes, The Rock should put him over, but I don't think The Rock should lose cleanly. Maybe he gets the whole Uso family to team up against The Rock. Like they come in and you think they're gonna help The Rock, but they actually they're finally brainwashed, because that's their chief. That's their chief. They start like super kicking, like double sweep super kick The Rock. Rock then gets speared, like he's like stumbling, and then he gets speared, and that's it. like that.
They're gonna start copywriting these things.
That like something like that, I could see happening. That'd be cool because like now he is the chief because like they have to listen to him.
This even happen. This is all rumors and stuff. So
yeah, but if that, I'm just playing off what you're saying. I think that would be a good way to go. I do enjoy this Roman. I mean, the match I didn't really care for that much, but more of a beatdown that was great to see as opposed to a match. Because I didn't really think Jay was deserving of this. I'm not like I said, he's more of a tag team in my eyes, a tag team wrestler, not an individual wrestler.
I'm not gonna. I do. I mean, it wasn't funny, but I don't remember what. I don't remember what I think the ref was checking on Jay, and then Roman was like, well, he didn't say these words exactly. He basically was like, "Excuse me, sir. This has nothing to do with you. Yeah. I own you. I own this place. Step back. I want to hear him say the words." Yeah. And then we had Paul on the outside saying, "You're my tribal chief." He was like, "No.
Yeah.
I don't want you to say it. I want him to say it." So it's just these layerings that they're letting Roman do is great because I honestly think that Roman's also having fun with this.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about when wrestlers get to have fun with their character, it bleeds into their performance actually in the ring, which gives us, the audience, a better performance that we can either rally around or just appreciate what they're doing.
It was great storytelling. I enjoyed it a lot. And if it does culminate into what you're suggesting with The Rock coming in, that would be awesome. That wouldn't probably happen until WrestleMania, I would think. They wouldn't do that until WrestleMania. And I think that's the way that they got to handle it, the way that I panned out. Where the only way they wouldn't pan out that way is if Roman abuses the Usos from now until WrestleMania, so they finally get fed up to help The Rock out. But The Rock doesn't need help, I don't think. The Rock has to lose that match, right? Like, I don't want The Rock to lose. I love Rock, but he has to lose that match, right? Because that makes Roman look bad if Rock wins. I don't know how they could pull it off with that's the whole argument that people say a part-timer coming back and beating your biggest star kind of thing. Hogan put The Rock over at WrestleMania 17, so I don't see why The Rock couldn't do that. So I just...
For his own family.
Yeah, for his own fan. It's just, I don't think he should win cleanly. Unless they're making a face turn. Right? That's the only way he can win cleanly is if they're pushing for a face turn at WrestleMania. But he's going to get booed regardless. Right? So, especially against The Rock, that's like the most popular superstar in the history of WWE, coming back to face someone that they consistently boo. And that's, I'm actually assuming there's going to be an audience there. Alright? So, if there's an audience there too, right? On that fact, all these things can change, right? I don't see The Rock losing cleanly. That's all I gotta say now for that. We'll see if it ever pans out that way. But yeah. Speaking of The Rock, here he is, giving the Rock Bottom at WrestleMania 29, which I was at. You can't see me in that angle, but I was there. So, yeah. Felicia, lowest point, highest point, overall grade?
I think the lowest point is probably going to be the combination of repeat matches that we've seen for the past pay-per-view or two. Even though some of them did have good matches in that, it's just that we need some new blood. And I know it's kind of hard to do because, COVID out here in the streets, but I'm really kind of getting tired of all the reshuffling of the same stuff over and over again. And my high point is going to be that ladder match because it was just that freaking awesome. And overall, even though there were some, like I keep saying, the repeat matches that I wasn't quite fond of, I'm going to give this an A-. Like, I thoroughly did enjoy the pay-per-view as a whole. And there was a lot of stuff that I liked.
Yeah, so for me, I'm on it. Same for you. Same as what you said. Lowest points are definitely the repeat matches. They were like just like you said, they were great matches, fun to watch. Unfortunately, with the Garza ending, that kind of screwed things over. But it was fun matches otherwise. The high point was definitely once again the ladder match, like you said. Everyone, I think it was in an agreement in the chat as well. That match stole the night. There's nothing more I can say about that. Like, it was just amazing. Grade, like, this is where we usually differ. Actually, when I started watching it, I'm going to give it a C maybe, but after going through, like, thinking about it and all that, and like how you pitched the final match as more of like a beatdown and like a story being told, I'd probably have to go with a B- now for the overall grade. So it wasn't too bad. So Yeah, it was sorry we were one day late, but life happens always, but we try to keep it as quickly as possible because big things are happening tonight. You guys don't know, but make sure you guys check out stuff. But where can we find you, Delisha? Because it's written in the description below.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Delisha Renee, and you can find me on my YouTube channel of the same name, like Cal said in the description box, where I vlog about health and fitness and also do videos on some of my favorite recipes in a healthified way.
Yeah, and actually, since you guys like WWE a lot, and the sister show is AfterTalk, don't forget to check out Nicole as well. She's just purchased some new hair care products, the WWE line of hair care products. So she'll be posting a YouTube video about that soon. So when we get it, we'll probably throw the link in the description as well once we get that video. Unless it comes in time for AfterTalk, then I'm sure she'll mention it then. But yeah, that's gonna be cool to see. As for me, I will be back. Well, we'll be back on. I want to make sure I said the right date. October 26th for Hell in a Cell because it got pushed up a week. Hell in a Cell is October 25th, so we'll be back October 26th, pending anything going on. But yeah, and then I'll be back to streaming in the following month, hopefully with the release of PlayStation 5. If I get that in time and all that, we'll see. But yeah, so we'll be back for Hell in a Cell, and that's pretty much it, I think I would say. But remember, guys, always keep slamming the haters and be the champion of your dreams. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. On we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.